The Harley Quinn animated universe on Max is expanding. We've got now the spin-off Kite Man. Hell yeah. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for Kite Man. Hell yeah. This is on Max, and we'll be streaming new episodes on Thursdays. So far, there are only 2 episodes available, so that's what I will be reviewing. But subsequent episodes, like I said, will air every week on Max on Thursdays. Before we launch into the specifics of this show, though, let me welcome you in to Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews on the channel, and just about every day I post something new, so there's always a lot to check out. And I've reviewed a lot of the adult animated series over the last few years as well, including most recently, just last week, I reviewed the Sausage Party spinoff, Foodtopia, based on that Sausage Party movie. I liked that a little less enthusiastically than some of the other shows I've reviewed lately, but a lot of the Fox animation domination stuff and a lot of the streaming animated series geared more for adults, I've got a lot of reviews for that kind of stuff on the channel, so you can check that out as well. So please consider subscribing, click that like button, and comment below. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. All right, so let's talk about Kite Man. So, look, I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan of the animated series. I think it's one of the best animated series out there right now. There's 4 seasons, I think, total so far for Harley Quinn. Kite Man is, one of the side characters. He's a villain. I guess they're all kind of villains, right? Because Harley Quinn. But I didn't think necessarily that he was a total standout, like, oh, let's give this guy his own show. But sometimes that works better because expectations maybe aren't as high. When they said they were going to spin Frasier off from Cheers, for example, I thought, all right, well, I like Frasier okay, but his own show, and then it turns out to be, just as good as Cheers. And I think that's an apt metaphor because this takes place mainly at a bar. So there are definitely some kind of Cheers vibes here with this show. So the essential premise is that Kite Man and his girlfriend Golden Glider live in this bar, Noonan's, this seedy Gotham bar. That's kind of their hang, and they also live there. And Lex Luthor offers to buy this bar for $10 million, basically just to screw it to Kite Man and his friends. And so they say, hey, if we can come up with $10 million, can we buy the bar instead? And, spoiler alert for episode 1, because the whole premise is them owning the bar. They find the money, I won't say how, and they end up owning this bar. And that's kind of going to be the main premise of the show, as, sort of the Lex Luthor kind of, idea is overhead. Lex Luthor is definitely a part of this, his Legion of Doom, kind of in the shadows of this show as well. So a lot of the voices are going to be the same from the Harley Quinn series. Not all of them. We'll talk about that. But Matt Oberg, who voices Chuck/Kite Man, he returns to that role. Stephanie Sue in this is Lisa/Golden Glider, and she is taking over for Kathy Ong, who voiced it in the original Harley Quinn series. And I'm not sure, why that changed, but Stephanie Sue we know from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and she's done some voice work for a few of the recent Netflix animated films, so she's got that. Bane has a pretty prominent role here as well, and he is voiced by James Adomian, who does the voice in Harley Quinn. And we've got some other people here as well, both people that are, from Harley Quinn and other voices. So, for example, Lance Reddick is taking over the voice of Lex Luthor for Giancarlo Esposito, who did it in the Harley Quinn show. Don't know why, look, Esposito has a lot of irons in the fire. Maybe he was busy, couldn't do it. But in any event, Lance Reddick has passed well over a year ago. So this is probably one of his last performances as Lex Luthor. But you also have Kaylee Cuoco and Lake Bell in the first episode of reprising their roles as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, respectively. Because Kite Man is actually Poison Ivy's ex. We kind of went over all of that in the Harley Quinn series. So anyway, look, this is very much in line with Harley Quinn. It's got the same sort of biting satire writing. The jokes have kind of similar premises, and everything's, a bit heightened, a bit outrageous. And this is the kind of show, and Harley Quinn as well, that definitely is not shy about using a lot of profanity and a lot of over the top gore and stuff. But here's the thing, it has a clever script to go with it. That was one of my problems with Sausage Party. It's one of my problems with a lot of the adult animated series, especially on streamers where they can get away with literally anything they want. They take that opportunity to just have their characters say filthy things, and that's the punchline. And we don't get that in the Harley Quinn series, and so far, this is falling in line with that. And there's definitely exceptions to that rule, like Invincible on Amazon Prime is another one, superhero related, that has clever writing, good characters, all that stuff, that puts it above a lot of those other ones. This to me so far is not quite up to the level of Harley Quinn, but that came out of the gate really swinging, because I think Harley Quinn had been so established at that point, in the film universe. With the Birds of Prey movie and the Suicide Squad films and all of that, that I think the show definitely wanted to differentiate a little bit from that and pivot and say, okay, this is very, very heavily R-rated. We're going to be as filthy as we can be, and we're going to explain, why Harley Quinn is this way. We're going to establish her as a character separate from the Riddler, because I think the first season of the animated series came out before the Birds of Prey movie, if I'm remembering that correctly, but after the first Suicide Squad movie. So anyway, so we, have to establish all that here. Look, Kite Man's already established. A lot of these characters are already established. Certainly Lex Luthor and Bane, and the Riddler appears at the sort of the round table. So all of that has already been established. So here we're just kind of diving right into the premise, which is these guys are now going to own the bar, and let's see what kind of madcap things happen at the bar. We've already had two majorly successful live action shows set at bars. I mentioned Cheers already. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, of course, is another one. So how is this going to differentiate from those two? Always Sunny is certainly a more filthy version of Cheers, right? Where everybody is also kind of a despicable character. Is this going to differentiate a lot from that? I think it will, because I think we're already in this kind of, established universe of Gotham and all of that, and these characters that we know. And I'd love to see more sort of cameos from a few other people, because they are obviously in this same universe. I think it remains to be seen how tight the supporting characters are going to be. But I like Kite Man. I think he's funny. And Golden Glider is sort of the sane one of the bunch. So she plays, a little bit straighter than the chaos of some of the other characters. I love that they've made Bane kind of this like simpering nobody, that wants to work for free just to have something to do, and be included after being tossed out by Lex Luthor. So, there's funny things within that universe. Look, I'm not as versed in comic books as a lot of people, for sure, but after watching, a few seasons of the Harley Quinn animated series, I'm at least familiar with this version of the DC and the Gotham universe. So for me, this is not quite on that level yet with Harley Quinn, which is probably an A. I would imagine when I first reviewed it, it was probably more of an A minus. But it's consistently great. So I would bump it up. This one, starting out, a little bit rougher, but I think there's definitely a lot of good potential here for some really humorous moments and characters. I'm going to leave for now Kite Man, hell yeah, with a B+. I think it's pretty good. It could be even better. So we'll see as the season continues if that's true. All right. Thank you for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.